Hey, when a girl is losing her voice, she needs some tea. It's like, what the hell? I know. Why do they have to make coffee machines so damn complicated? I don't make the coffee around here. It has to. I got it. Mande. ¿Qué quieres?
Right now, Penny and I are trying to restructure our commission plan where we're trying to weed out all those ghost agents that they don't show up for meetings, they don't show up for the office, they don't sell anything. So we're trying to get rid of that. I want to get away from the 80-20 thing and get a flat fee.
They do a flat fee and they're never here.
No, everybody's independent, so you're your own boss. But I want to, because the way the market is playing right now.
That's where everybody's going.
Yeah, so now you're making numbers, and it makes more sense by doing that.
¿Verdad que sí?
Yeah, and that way you can cut the weed, the bad weed, like the people that, I'm just put my license here, if I don't sell it.
The ghost agents?
Yeah, the ghost agents, hey, you have to have, it's 100% commission, but this is your fee only, that's it. Because I don't like having agents here that they don't sell a single thing, and they're just here because, I don't pay anything.
Yeah, we can start changing the structure.
And we sit down right now and talk about the spots.
Okay.
I have some spots that I need to listen, that I really listen.
We're competing against all these disruptors. Perch, Open Door.
Okay, so we have...
All right, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on something, but...
I got tea. I need my voice back, babe.
Stop party?
So I get invited to all these parties. I can't help it. So basically what we've done is we've prepared a market analysis for you. So basically whenever I set up a listing appointment, I don't know if the client has ever sold a house before or if they have recently sold a property. And so I'd like to explain detail from detail. I'd like to start from the very beginning and let them know how it is that we actually come up with a number to list their house. If we haven't had anything sold in the last 6 months comparable to your property, then we go a little bit further. But usually we've got enough comparables to compare to.
Whenever you get a listing appointment, the first thing I love to do is go do my research on that client to see how many houses he owns, how much he owes. So once we meet, we have a lot of information from the client, and that way we also do our comparables and show the client the right price where he needs to be.
Most of the time, as a seller, you think your house is worth more than it actually is, right? So it's very difficult as a listing agent to go in and tell the client that their house isn't worth, as much as they think. And as we can see, we have a high price per square foot, we have a low, an average, and a median. So we obviously want to be within the average price per square foot. Within the last, there's 6 months, there's been 6 properties, more or less comparable to yours. We pretty much wanted to grab apples to apples. We don't want to, there's some properties that probably might be a little bit older than yours, or don't have the same amount of bedrooms, or, don't have a pool. And obviously we want to have one that's more like yours that has sold. We always try to, kind of ease that in, and you're actually showing them what the market is really going to pay for their house. So, you've got that to back you up, but at the same time, it's always very difficult, and you have to kind of ease it into the seller's mind that you're not coming up with a number from thin air, that you're actually giving them facts of what their house is actually worth. And with that being said, we did find one. It did sell for a certain price per square foot. The price per square foot matters. So when you're listing a house, make sure what your average price per square foot is, because if they're gonna be on the high range, it's urgency, remember. Which is what my recommended price is. I know that recently you had the house on the market for $1 million, close to $1 million, and then maybe you lowered a little bit. We did look at the past history, and Raul and I, over discussing the comparables now, we decided that maybe it would be best to list around the $880,000 to $900,000 range.
Don't ever tell a client what they want to hear. Always be very upfront with the client. Tell them exactly what you think the house is going to sell for, because if not, they're going to be more upset at you later.
It is a little ways off of what you had it listed before, but we do recommend that price, being that the house could sit on the market for a really long time.
There's so many agents that lie about the price of the house, telling the client that they can sell it for so much when the house is really worth this much. And that's what can create a really big problem for the agent, where eventually he'll lose the house. So I'd rather lose a listing, but be truthful about how much I can really sell the house for.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, this is a $1 million house. One of the Spurs used to live here. This is a celebrity house.
It is.
And,
it is.
It will make it more attractive to maybe a client to buy a house because somebody famous lived there, but not necessarily that doesn't drive the price of the house. What drives the price of the house is the market. So that's why we use the comparables, especially in your neighborhood. The houses sold within the last 6 months usually, and based on what we found, that's the price where we need to be. It is very important how to price the house correctly. Usually clients will ask you to list it a little bit higher when you're proposing, and that's fine. We can test the waters. We tell them we will do it for 1 or 2 weeks, and if there's no showings, well, we need to go back and revisit the price and adjust it.
So have you prepared any numbers for me?
I actually have. So if we wanted to start at $900,000, I've actually prepared a net sheet for you with the numbers showing how much you would net after all of the closing costs, commissions, and other expenses incurred.
Most important thing, always prepare a net sheet. Clients want to see numbers. Numbers are king.
All right. I'm not really used to looking at these. So what is your percentage on this?
It's 6% that we charge.
Is that standard?
It is a standard.
It's our standard. There's not really a standard of pricing, but it is our standard. That's what we charge.
Yeah, there are some agents that like to bend over and lower their commission, but we're not that type of agent. We work hard for what we do, and we spend a lot of money to make our money.
Okay, well, you guys are going to be representing me on buying another house, right?
Correct.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and 6% of $900,000 is a lot of money. So.
We do share the 6%. So out of that 6%, 3%, half of that automatically goes to a buyer's agent.
That's correct.
Okay, so the other 3% stays within the company.
But take into consideration that 3% that we keep is not all for us. For that we need to pay advertisement for your house, videos, social media.
Real estate is all about your type of advertising. Make sure that you're reinvesting what you make back into your own business, because that's what's going to get you more clients.
So it's not like we just list the house and we'll keep the whole thing. So there's agents that they just their job is to put their house in MLS, and let's see, they just pray, hoping somebody comes in and sells it. Especially in this kind of range of house, this price, we need to advertise, because you're advertising to a very little percentage of people that can afford this kind of house.
Right.
So we need to spend a lot of money on social media and marketing to advertise your property, to sell it at the price you want to sell it for.
Be prepared to be hustled by your clients. They're always going to want a rebate on your commission. And us personally, if we're going to list your house and also help you with a purchase, we'll probably give you a credit when you purchase your next house.
All right, well, I guess what I was trying to get to is, since you guys are making a lot of money on this house, do you think you can cut me a deal on the house that I'm going to buy?
I can do this. What about if we pay some of the closing costs on the other house you're gonna buy?
Which will be credited back to you at the purchase of the other home.
That we can do. Any other particular
Definitely.
questions you might have or concerns?
One thing is, I'm very picky about who comes in the house, and I don't wear shoes in the house. And obviously, I asked you guys to take off your shoes when you came in.
Right,
So
you did.
is
right.
it possible that we can
Totally.
make sure that when anybody comes to see the house, that they can take off their shoes?
Respect your client's needs. If they want other realtors to take off their shoes before they go into the house, then make it clear that that's what they want. Always respect your client's needs.
We can always accommodate the client's needs, but I'm just hoping that Penny's not the one that shows the house because her feet will stink the house.
The house that they can take off their shoes.
Of course, of
We
course.
can do that. We can even put little shoe covers. If they don't want to take the shoes, I have some shoe covers that I can put on in the front door, outside, and put a sign. No problem with that.
That's
I've done
not a
that.
problem at
We've
all.
done that in the past. Before we leave a listing appointment, I always like to tell clients, give them tips about how to get their house fixed, ready for showings. And sometimes it's like telling your client that your baby's ugly, but sometimes you have to do it because that will make your sale a lot easier and a lot faster.
I prefer more of like putting nice smelling candles on, while people are looking at the house. I mean, sometimes it does help to like put a nice scent, candle or sometimes fresh baked cookies, which is what a lot of like sellers do.
How much time can we, if someone calls me today, can we postpone it till the next day if I have to get housekeeping back out here again, or
Look,
or
on the scheduling
Yeah,
for if somebody's scheduling a showing, the more picky you are about, well, give me 3 hours notice, give it 1 day notice, the more you put, the more chances you will lose that showing.
Raul and I love to play good cop, bad cop, but don't be afraid to tell your clients things that they need to hear or that might make them feel uncomfortable sometimes. They did hire you to list and sell their house. So the more restrictions that they have on showings, the less buyers you're gonna get in, and you're not gonna get any offers.
I will try to accommodate them as soon as possible. If
Of
they
course,
say,
some clients will give us a 20, but they prefer a 24-hour notice. And if that's what your case, yes, sometimes
But the
maybe
least the
2
better.
3 hours is good just to kind of spruce up a 2-3 hour notice. But we can do whatever you prefer.
whatever you prefer, but the more,
Yeah.
the less restrictions, the better.
Make it clear to your clients that any major repairs that need to be done are done prior to listing the house, because even if they repair them afterwards, the buyers probably are not going to come back.
Okay.
Well, I'd really like to be out of this house within 6 months. Do you think you guys can get it sold?
As long as, we have everything in order, maybe, if we know that there are certain things that need to be fixed around the house, which is all things that a potential buyer is going to look at, if there's any little, cracks in maybe like the ceramic roof or et cetera, those are things that we want to obviously,
Address.
tackle and address before we put it on the market, because that'll help us sell.
What places will you guys be advertising this besides the MLS?
So all of the major websites like Redfin, Zillow, Trulia, they'll go on to all the third-party like websites where people look on, realtors.com, and then social media. We do a lot of social media.
Like they say, you had to spend money to make money, and that's a big part of our process to sell our client's house for the most money.
Our social media presence is really, really strong. We do something that's called geofencing. So if anybody's looking at a home in your area, they actually grab your home, and we pay for that. It's a monthly, or it's an impressions, by impressions.
Yes.
Finally, you've got to seal the deal with the documentation. Very important. And give them a time frame for their photos, because that's going to make them feel a little bit more committed to you.
All right, sounds good.
So what we're gonna do, the next step. So by once we get back to the office, I'm gonna prepare. We're gonna prepare all the paperwork.
Okay.
I'm gonna text you once I send it to you. If you have any questions, just give me a call so I can answer any questions that you might have.
Of
You don't have to print anything. Everything's online. And
Electronic
once
signature.
we have that, we're gonna schedule the guy to come and take pictures. You told me next week you'll be fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll be professional pictures. And once we take the pictures, we upload them, and we're good to go. And we're gonna order the sign that is required by your neighborhood, and that's it. So
Yeah.
we'll take it from there.
We'll be ready to go. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
sir.
having us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
All right, let's
Awesome.
get this sold.
Let's do it.